aftermath of a disappointing loss to the Tennessee Titans, 21-17, at home at FedEx Field. There's no home field advantage. The people were out there, came out there. God bless them, man. I mean, the crowd was there. I'm looking at Ryan Tannehill's stats. He completed 15 out of 25 attempts, 181 yards. Average per pass, 7.2, one touchdown. He was sacked 5 times for 45 yards. His quarterback rating was 95.6. QBR was 17.8. Derrick Henry, 28 carries, 102 yards. Average was 3.8 yards a carry. 2 touchdowns, his longest run being 15 yards. As far as receiving, Robert Woods had 4 catches for 37 yards, 9.3 yards a catch. Longest being 13 yards. He was targeted 8 times. Westbrook, 2 catches for 72 yards. Average a whopping 36 yards, .0. He was targeted 3 times. Obviously, that whopping, the catch there with Bobby McCain miraculously lost the ball. Maybe the sunlight, like I said before. This was a winnable game. This was a game we had to win. Wentz, 25 of 38, 359 yards. Average per attempt was 9.4 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 3 times for 17 yards. Quarterback rating of 42.6. Well, his QBR was 46.2. Rating of 102. I mean, on paper, Wentz had a good game. Let's get down to the nuts and bolts, the meats and potatoes. We're down there on the 2-yard line, man. On the pass interference call against Terry McLaurin. My problem is with Scott Turner. The storybook ending was right there with Brian Robinson. He's your lead dog. He's your bell cow. Now, I know he's coming off of injury with the being shot and everything. You had 19 seconds. Now, I heard the announcer saying, well, it's going to be, risky trying to get all those players to get lined up and all that. If you got a disciplined team, you get I don't know. It could be a risk, but I would have tried it. I would have tried it. Run right over to your guard that you got. Andrew Norwood. Run right on his side. Make him redeem himself. But it didn't happen. And as Commander fans, a lot of them are fed up. I had people calling me yesterday, been Commander fans for almost 50 years. They said they're done. I'm hanging in there, though. It's frustrating. We're 1-4 in the division. We're an embarrassment as far as our record. Our defense played well enough to win. We did have one lapse there with Bobby McCain, as I mentioned. Obviously, they're going to throw him back out there. William Jackson III got benched. He wants to say it was an injury, but we all know he got benched. Wild Goose seemed to be playing pretty well. Cam Curl played well. Fuller didn't have. For the most part, he played well. If I'm going to criticize him, I'm going to praise him. He did play well. I still have a problem with the defensive backs lining up 5 to 6 yards off the wide receivers. But that's neither here or there. That's their scheme, so they have to deal with it. Montez Sweat played well. He was lucky he didn't get a penalty for taking his helmet off on that one play. That's automatic. You take your helmet off in the midst of the game. That was a look-at-me moment. He got lucky. But he did jump off sides twice in crucial parts of the game, giving the Titans a first down. it's a frustrating season, man. Yeah, there was a lot of well, let's look at the preseason. I mean, I saw it coming, but I thought maybe there would be a little bit more diversity in the offense. You got all these weapons. See, my problem is you don't even target Terry McLaurin in crucial situations. A guy you're paying $24 million a year to, you don't run the ball when you're on the 2 yard line. When you bought this guard in from Carolina, Jacksonville, Andrew Norwood, and he's awful. But at least he could have redeemed himself. Run on his side, you know, run on his side, run. But that's not happening with Scott Turner because he thinks he's a genius in his own mind. He thinks he knows better than what anybody else knows. He's trying to, I don't know, some of the things, it's just mystifying. Some of his play calling. I don't think he's a play caller in the NFL. Not yet, as I stated. But some of the stuff, some of the calls that he makes, head scratchers. And it's almost like he's learning on the job, which he probably is. But Ron picked this guy over Kevin O'Connell. And we see what Kevin O'Connell is doing with Minnesota. All these coaches and all these head coaches, there were assistant coaches here. They all are successful. Ron, to me, I think the game has just passed him by. These old dinosaurs trying to hold on to a paycheck, trying to still be in the league because, we got, he's a nice guy, this, that, and the other. But to me, it's a young man's game now. Same thing with the quarterback position. You need a mobile quarterback. That sequence there with Carson, he could have kind of rolled out. If he had his wheels like he used to have, maybe he'd run it. But he's a robot at this moment. He's trying not to be the reason why we lose, and he's playing with fragile confidence at this moment. So he played well though. Those two passes to De'Ami Brown, beautiful, beautiful passes. So I got to give him props. He has the arm, he has the ability, he has the talent, and we're just going to have to be patient, I guess, because he gives us the best chance to win. I know that's not a popular opinion, but when you see those passes like that, and that was a beautiful pass when De'Ami got that one-handed ball. That was a great grab. So you see that and you're like, wow. And on that last drive, I got to give him props. He did his thing. But it's just coaching, man, that's holding these players back. It's coaching. The player's not going to say anything, not publicly. But I think, players know that they're dealing with inadequate coaching, especially in the coordinators and the head coach. But Ron is a nice guy. People wish the best for him. And for the most part, he's going to be the coach for the foreseeable future. Unless, Dan Snyder, he's cash-strapped at this moment. He doesn't have that cash to go out there and pay a coach, 15 some $1 million or whatever. You might can, if you're going to make a move like that, you might can go with Eric Bieniemy, and see what can happen there if you're going to make a move. But Ron has changed the culture as far as the type of attitude and accountability as far as this roster. And I think Dan Snyder's probably going to rely on him because Dan Snyder has a lot on his plate. Now, Tanya Snyder, I don't know. Maybe she has more influence than we know. But maybe, maybe she make a call, but I doubt it. I doubt it at this moment. So we're gonna have to ride it out. So I think they all should be replaced, but that's just me. I'm frustrated. So it's a miserable, miserable Monday, and to me, it's no excuses. Ron's still relying on this. It takes time. It takes time, bro. The Giants were horrible last year. They're 4-1, okay, and they're playing with confidence. This team, confidence-wise, is fragile. The winning, I mean, the losing over time will do that. The players need that leadership. Need to really rely on the coaches making putting them in the best situations to win, and we're just not getting it, and that's just the way it is. So hang in there. I'll still check them out, but it's getting kind of hard to do because ultimately, when it's crunch time, they're going to make a decision that's going to it's just going to leave you scratching your head like why. But it is what it is at this moment. It's tough being a fan. I know people want to try to jump off ship and find another team and all that, and I can't blame them. I can't talk them off the ledge. The glory days and all that stuff is over with. It's been over for quite some time. Now, it's just time to just. Sometimes you just got to keep stripping it down and rebuilding it. I don't trust this regime to pick the next franchise quarterback. I like to see Sam Howell develop. I don't even want to see Sam Howell play this year. Not with this offensive line. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I would like to see him play, but with the offensive line we got right now, no. No. Why ruin another talent? Like I said, Carson Wentz give us the best chance to win. But the offensive line, man, if you don't have the line, you just can't do anything. And Andrew Norwell's a turnstile, and the center, Wes Martin, he look, man. The most important job you have as a center, the most important job you hold the ball in your hand, is making sure you get the ball to the quarterback. That was Pop Warnerish snapping the football that I saw yesterday. Bro, I understand you're trying to get to your blocking assignment, but you got to make sure that the ball, that operation has to be done correctly without fail. I mean, at some point, you're just like, you're rolling the ball like a dice. Like dice, man. Come on, get the ball up and get it to the quarterback. So, F for the center. F for Norwood. As far as the offensive line as a whole, D. Jamin Davis played well. Like I said, I mentioned Montez Sweat. He played well. The defensive line played well. Jonathan Allen. I mean, we get 5 sacks. Effie Obata got a sack. Opportunities, man. Opportunity. As far as playoffs, get that out your head right now. There's no playoffs. Now, respectability, can we be respectful? Can we be, a respected team at this moment and get to a respectable record? At this point, if you get 5-12, it'd be amazing. Because right now, let me check my schedule. Let me check the schedule. You got Chicago coming up this Thursday. Green Bay after that at home. We don't have a home field advantage. There'll be a lot of Green Bay fans there. You go down to Indianapolis. It's an afternoon game at 4:25. Then you have Minnesota. So those are your next four. Try to scratch it. Can you scratch out a win? I don't see a win. Maybe Chicago. And that's not going to be a duck walk. Because the rookie quarterbacks love us. We're not that type of team. You know, people get healthy on us. They look at us and they pad their stacks against us, man. They pad their stats. So we are who our record says we are. We're 1-4, worst team in the league. Defense is on an upswing, but I don't trust the coaches. I don't trust the coaches. Like I said, if you give me Eric Bieniemy, if we can't attract any coach, Eric Bieniemy will be on my list, probably number one in this moment. I'm sure someone else will emerge, but this organization got a shadow cast on it. It's a black cloud following it. No one wants to actually work for Dan Snyder. And so, therefore, I don't see a coaching change. There could be some coordinator changes, Ron can do these moves, man. You know why he can do all these stupid little press conferences saying, we got to be patient, because he doesn't have a boss. He doesn't have anybody telling him or that he has to report to, and besides the owner. And the owner really, for the most part, is probably checked out because he has his own little situation he's got to go through. But you think Tanya Taylor going to tell Ron, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to fire your coordinator, you need to make a change this week? No. I'd be very surprised if that happened. So, at this moment, we are at the bottom of the NFL, and we can only go up. So that's the only bright spot. But I don't see us going that far. We might have plateaued under Ron when we got that NFC, accidentally stumbled into the NFC East Championship in 2020 during the COVID year. But for the most part, we're just going to have to dig ourselves out the hole. And that's the only thing I can say about that. But, it's the burgundy and gold, man. So, but I tell you what, I mean, as a fan base, we're a little too soft, man. I mean, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying because we don't show up at the games. I'm just saying demanding stuff, man. If this was Philadelphia or New York, they wouldn't have this. They won't put up with this type of stuff. They not put up with it. But we love our team. We love, But I'm telling you, man, we need a whole new regime ASAP. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon. Peace.